beginning with the Dr. Phillips Panthers. A 6'4" senior guard, number 1, Arby. A 6'5" senior guard, number 2, Riley Google. 6'4" sophomore forward, number 4, Jordan Tillery. A 6' senior guard, number 11, Jackson Slater. And a 6'10" senior center, number 21, Ernest Uday Jr. Head coach of Dr. Phillips is Ben Witherspoon. Now here's the night starters for the Greeneville. 5'7" senior, number 2, Jackson Tillery. 6'2" senior guard, number 3, Jacoby Gillespie. 6'1" junior guard, number 5, Jante Daz. 6'4" senior forward, number 11, Terry Rowe. And 6'3" senior, number 23, Reed Satterfield. The head coach of the Greeneville is Brad Pulte. The official score for tonight's game is Lisa Blackburn.
Good evening and welcome to Viking Hall on the campus of Bristol, Tennessee High School. 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Viking Sports Network is bringing you this action. I'm your host, CJ Manahan, along with Coach Charlie Tiller, who's going to be joining us for this go-round. We've got a local team, Greeneville High School, just down the road, and then going up against a team from Orlando, Florida, and Dr. Phillips, the Panthers. One of the more highly touted teams that we're going to see in this particular Arby's Classic, so we'll see exactly how this goes. Greeneville's no slouch, though, right? State championship level team with some returners from a squad that was really tough, right, over the last couple of years. So should be interesting action. Inside right there, that's number 21, Uday, and he takes it in strong. It's going to be a tough matchup. Obviously has a size advantage over everybody else out here, and pretty good hands and pretty good bounce as well.
Yeah, so there's a reason Bill Self is recruiting that guy.
Right. Yeah. Bill Self doesn't well, he's pretty picky and choosy, I'd suspect. In those scenarios.
That's a fact.
So good length for that fellow, 6'10" senior. We'll keep an eye on him as the night unfolds. Greeneville in a man-to-man here. Again, into Uday as well. Second time through, good inside-out pass. Three-point ball is up there for Jackson Slater. He knocks it down. So quick 5-0 burst for Dr. Phillips. Oh,
good
goodness.
Oh, man.
Again, right, Bill Self checking the film on that, right, saying, yeah, I think I made a good call. Right?
He's had a few good big guys there at Kansas in his time there, and I think Uday's going to be the latest one.
Again, Gillespie doing the best job he can to get that ball up over the top, and Uday's, looking like he is above. He's certainly above the box, right, on most of these. So it's going to be a tough, tall order to say the least, to get shots up on the glass while he's patrolling the lane. Half-court set here again. Greeneville in that man-to-man. Good ball movement here by Dr. Phillips. Nice move, number 2. Riley Kugel took that one up strong. Missed it, though. Good board.
Of course, Kugel is the Mississippi State commit.
Yes.
So
we've got Division I talent all over the front line here. Starting group for Dr. Phillips. There's Gillespie for 3. Good look at it. Couldn't quite get there. Uday with the board. Hands right there by Dabbs. Quarter 3, up, no good. Uday off the board, takes it up strong and scores. He's just going to be a problem in that painted area. Got to really do a good job of boxing him out. Even if you do, he's still so long and athletic to get up over the top of that. Gillespie missed that one. Boards up, back to the other end, and Dr. Phillips has run out to a 9-point lead here to start this thing off. Disciplined. Looked like they're looking for that extra pass. They're finding this thing quick. So 9-0 run to start the ball game in the first 2 minutes. Dr. Phillips looked like they have they're going to be everything that they've been advertised to be.
Yeah, they were a little flat when they came out the other night playing Volunteer. Volunteer hung in there in the first half. They were down about 14 or so at halftime, but really hung in well. And Dr. Phillips just wasn't very sharp. And then the second half, the Panthers came out and hit like 4 or 5 threes just right off the bat and just pushed that lead out. And you could tell it was almost like they got their focus there at halftime, and I think they've carried it over to tonight.
Well, each of these teams, obviously, Viking Hall's a little bit of a different environment. And again, playing on a floor with this type of surroundings, it takes depth perception is an issue.
Yeah,
I think
the
it really
shooting
is.
background is a little different, especially on this end,
Mm-hmm.
The end that we're sitting on, where Greeneville is attacking right now. When there's no curtain down, it becomes a little bit different, because of the bleachers that are here on the stage during the tournament.
Agreed. Satterfield with a miss there. Rebounded again by Dr. Phillips. We might have a little bit of a travel there. We did.
So that's going to be a travel or a jump ball or something.
It's got to be something. Yeah, pretty good D right by Greeneville, moving their feet, forcing that turnover. Greeneville still looking for their first bucket. Extended pressure here by Dr. Phillips, using that length. Goes Dabbs off the dribble. Nice little pull-up, and he scores. DeJounte Dabbs finds a nice little gap in the Dr. Phillips defense and takes advantage. And so that type of area is probably where Greeneville is going to have to live, in those little halo areas in between the three-point line and the rim. Dr. Phillips, it looks like they're going to push out to the three-point line, try to take that away, and then obviously they got a 6'10", long, athletic guy patrolling the lane. That elbow area and short corner area is probably going to be spots where Greeneville is going to want to get to.
Yeah, I'd say with Greeneville, one of the things they were definitely emphasizing is that kind of, mid-range area and not over-penetrate.
Right.
I mean,
right.
It's really you think about all the time, we want to really penetrate, we want to attack the bucket, but in this case, you're just going to get erased if you go in there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Dabbs again, got a good look at a three, knocks down 2 in a row. Greeneville now on a 5-0 run, themselves back in the ball game, and again, that's another good example. That was behind the three-point line, but again, in that area that's kind of in between where Dr. Phillips is setting up defensively. Oh my goodness!
Mercy.
Right?
Google just blew with just a blow by right there.
And again, this difference there in this level of play is when a guy gets to that level, he's going up, and that ball is going to get flushed. So, really nice move there by Kugel on the baseline. Again, there's Dabbs again, a personal 7-0 run for Greeneville. So Dabbs starting to feel it a little bit. He's found himself in those areas, and he's doing a good job of pulling up before getting to that area that would be considered over penetration. Can't even get a sentence out. We got a dunk on the other end. Aberdeen taking it strong to the rim.
And that's their third D1 guy.
Yeah.
That's the Florida commit.
So we've seen everybody so far. Right? They've all made their presence felt. Ball was lost there, and it is going to go over to the Panthers.
Ironically, Uday, the only one of the D1 guys that hasn't dunked the ball yet.
Right, yeah.
That's
Tallest guy for it.
6'10".
I have a feeling that we might see that before the night is out.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of times.
Say maybe before the quarter's up.
So we're set up well for that.
There it is.
We almost talked it into fruition right there. 3 from the corner there from Slater. He's a couple of threes here in the first quarter.
That's the young man the other night that I was actually really impressed with, because he's the least touted, probably of these starters, and yet he really makes a big difference pushing the tempo and kind of getting them into their stuff and getting what they want. And then as we've seen here, he does a really good job when he's open of knocking down shots.
Well, and for a team as athletic as Dr. Phillips is, every one of those teams needs a guy like him that's going to be, and I'm not trying to classify him as a glue guy or anything like that. I think he's a pretty talented player. But the reality is, when you're going up against what you've seen so far, and prime example, right? Right there. To get his hand in the must have got his hand in the cup there.
I guess.
Or maybe it was his head. I don't know.
Well, I think he might have been hanging on to it, and the ball came back down and hit it while he was still hanging on to it. So I'm assuming that's what the call was there.
He got up plenty high right there for certain.
That doesn't happen in very many of the games that I coach.
No, I wouldn't suspect. Right. So that's just again different type of ball, and it's part of the reason why people want to tune into these ball games. We're going to see quite a bit of that, I suspect, with the talent level that that's going to be on display this evening. Good ball movement here by Greeneville. Keeping Dr. Oh, my goodness. Nice little crossover by Gillespie, but lost balance. Had Uday on skates there for a second. Lost his own balance in that particular case. So Dr. Phillips back into the front court. Greeneville hanging around here. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 16-7. across. Nice ball movement there. Oh, my goodness.
He was trying to bring down this house right there.
Maybe a little overly ambitious there by Denzel Aberdeen, but didn't look like he hasn't done something like that before. Maybe took off just a hair early. That was fun to watch. We had Coach Tiller and I had a full view of that one
Absolutely.
from the far end of the court.
I'll tell you, and I think it got our crowd's attention here too, because you kind of heard that inhale right there.
Like, man, is he really going to do that? Unless we left that one a little bit short.
I hope we get to see him tomorrow evening about 5 o'clock.
Woo. Yeah, there he goes.
There's Uday.
There it is. Uday on a nice little rim run to the front of the rim, hammers that one down, and nice pass. Good find by his teammate right there to be able to get himself put that ball right where he could go get it.
And then gives the net down here a little header.
Yep. Got to test his vertical on the other end. Right, so good stuff. I mean, and just in this first 6.5 minutes, we've seen a lot of what Dr. Phillips brings to the table in terms of overall athleticism. They've got guys that can shoot a little bit. They've got guys that obviously can elevate. They're all over the floor. And even a team like Greeneville locally is a solid team. They got guys that can shoot. They're quick, but just at a little bit of a size and athleticism disadvantage here. But as we say that, it's just one of those situations. And again, I didn't get a chance to see Dr. Phillips play the other night, but they seem to be on their game coming out this evening. Yeah. Usually, before we could finish our thought, we got interrupted a while back. That first night for a lot of teams that are traveling here to Bristol to play, and then to find themselves in this environment, it's an adjustment. And that first game usually it takes them a half, sometimes a whole game to really kind of feel things out. Well,
plus their game didn't start till close to 9 o'clock.
Right.
And they're not. Then they're an Eastern Time Zone team, so right. I mean that is 9 o'clock on their body clock.
Right.
So,
sure.
And I assume they came in, but they may not have come in Christmas Day. They may have come in, that morning or whatever. So, I mean, it is an adjustment.
No doubt. Good ball movement here by the Green Devils. Nice look at the rim there. No good. And there's Uday to be able to clean up the glass. That's what Greeneville needs. Good ball move. 4 or 5 passes to be able to kind of drive and kick and get into those halo areas. If they can get a couple of those to fall, they'll hang around in this ball game. Defensively is going to be where they're going to have to figure out a way to get stops against this. And there we go again. Nice back cut.
They're going to give up a dunk again.
Yeah, there he is again. So it's one of those tough situations where they're going to have to be able to play on the perimeter and be able to keep guys in front of them. But then you also have a 6'10", Kansas recruit on the back end that's prowling back there, and there's just not a ton you can do, especially when they're doing their. It seems very obvious what Dr. Phillips wants to do is spread Greeneville out and then let him go to work in that low post area and drive and kick off of that.
Well, I mean, and you look too, biggest guy on Greeneville's roster is 6'5".
Right.
I mean,
nice little shot
right
by Grove. Yep. It's just going to be an issue that they're going to deal with throughout this entire ballgame. But I'd suspect even the teams, as we look ahead at certain matchups as we go through, everybody's going to have a hard time with the Dr. Phillips, no matter who's out there.
I think Kugel thought that Uday was going to go up for that one.
Left it a little bit short for him. He's telling him right now. He's like, "Hey, go get that one." Just want to put it up there for him. So, 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3 from the corner. Greeneville got it. And as I said, hanging around. That's
and like we talked about yesterday, the 3 can be a great equalizer.
It sure
I mean, if you can consistently knock down shots, I mean, we see it in the NCAA tournament every year. You see one of these teams that's a really, really high-level team that gets upset. It's usually by a team that knocks down a bunch of threes.
Absolutely. Our producer Colin in my ear right there pointing out that there were 0 fouls called in that first quarter, which again,
no complaints here.
We're loving that up here.
Again,
right?
After coaching a JV basketball game earlier today, I can guarantee you there were more than 0 fouls.
Than 0 fouls
per 30 seconds in that game.
No
so
doubt about it.
I'll take a quarter with no fouls.
Well, and again, just watching that action in that first quarter, a lot of good ball movement on both ends. Teams playing, and I was complimentary in that first ball game, really up until the latter portion of it, where we had some back and forth. That it was played at a high level too. Both teams moving their feet, playing with their chests and not with their hands. But still, a lot of when you turnovers, a lot of times are going to happen with active hands. But these guys doing a good job of keeping their hands off of each other, especially on drives. So. got to compliment a group of guys that play an entire quarter and not a single foul
Absolutely.
called. And rightly so.
And honestly, a group of officials.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Because it's easy to, they're just like anybody else. If they feel like they haven't blown that whistle in a while, it's like, wait a minute, we're supposed to do this.
Yeah, that's right.
Instead, they're actually seeing what's happening and doing a really good job of keeping this game under control without having to do any of that kind of stuff.
Calling things accordingly, absolutely. Don't want to cause problems where there aren't any, right?
100%.
Yeah. Gillespie with a nice step back. That's good. Pretty shot right there by Jacoby Gillespie. So Greeneville within 2 scores here, 20-14. Starting to get a feel for what's happening. Again, defensively is where it's going to be the toughest. Good job there by Grove, bodying up Uday as he went through. Pass was a little hot, and Greeneville gets the ball back, looking to cut this lead down even further. Again, Gillespie's going to be the guy. He's going to have to get going. His teammates have done a good job holding him up in that first quarter. Good drive there by Satterfield, but has it knocked away. If Gillespie gets going, you got an opportunity here for Greeneville to hang around in this thing. There goes Kugel. To the corner. 3-pointer there by Sato. Knocks it down straight away. Nice find there by Kugel to find his man in the corner. 3-pointer puts Dr. Phillips back up by 9. Again, I have, if I was going to watch film on Dr. Phillips, I kind of wonder overall, they don't seem to have a real primary ball handler. It seems to kind of be done by committee, and whoever's got it just kind of takes it and goes. Of course, when you got the level of talent that they do, you can get away with that type of thing. But I find it really interesting. Usually these teams, nice pass on the run there. Again, Sato, 2 back-to-back buckets. Usually at these teams that this high cavalry, somebody's a dominant ball handler. And they seem to have a group of guys that can just kind of all do that. That's quite a luxury. Dabs for 3. Good. Dabs has been really consistent.
Dabs is trying to punch that all-tournament team ticket is what he's trying to do.
And he hasn't forced anything.
No,
everything that
it's all been in the rhythm.
Within the offense. Casato again feeling it. Little heat check there, no good. Kugel on the backside. What's he going to call? Offensive foul. Oh, my goodness.
Mercy.
For the first foul of the game, I'm not sure that I love that one. Right? But again, might have had a chicken wing down there. Couldn't quite tell from my angle. It looked like he just went up and there was a little bit of body contact. He's wondering a little bit about that as well. I didn't see a whole lot there.
No, didn't seem to be a whole lot.
Yeah.
And Kugel, as he comes here to the bench, definitely is, let's say, not thrilled.
He's a little animated about that. Understandable. It didn't look like there was a whole lot there. But anyway, regardless, ball back to Greeneville. A little run and jump trap there was effective. Dabs threw it away. Ball back to Dr. Phillips into Aberdeen's hands.
Yeah, based on the other night, Aberdeen, if you're going to say there's a primary ball handler, it's probably him.
Okay.
But you're exactly right. It can be any of them, basically. Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of times the other night where Uday even took off with it.
Yeah.
And that's a scary sight if you're hustling back on defense.
Well, right. I mean, for these teams that are going to end up matching up against them, as a coach, what I'm looking for is I'm trying to identify who that person is, and if they're the person that's going to be triggering offense, I want to try to force that person into something. But if there's not really a way to do that, that provides an extra layer of challenge for anybody that's going to run up against Dr. Phillips throughout this tournament. Aberdeen missed that first free throw. This is Mason Sheffield. Missed that first free throw. He's got the second one coming.
Uday going to get his first break here.
Yep. Well earned. He's been working pretty hard on both ends. Again, Greeneville, 9-point lead. Greeneville kind of hanging around here as we dip under 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play. As we get to the latter portion of the second quarter, again, we've talked strategy about this on a couple of occasions last night. If I'm Greeneville, I'm trying to stay within 2 buckets, right? And again, definitely trying to keep it under 10 if at all possible. But a lot of this is psychological. You get to the second half and you feel like you're in striking distance. All of a sudden, and we saw this really in that first game, right? With Berkmar having a 15 or 16-point lead at halftime. But we talked about how in those scenarios, there's Dabs again for 3. Got it, man. He's keeping them almost single-handedly keeping them in the ballgame right here. But Dr. Phillips got to find him out there. He is, but he's doing a good job of playing in those kind of cushioned areas in between, finding gaps in that defense. And he certainly is not shy about getting that ball up. A little defensive block right there. So, Dabbs is really got to keep an eye on here, because for the most part, what he's been able to do is find those gaps in the Dr. Phillips defense. They're a little bit slow rotating to get to him, and he's got a quick release on his shot. It gets up out of his hand pretty quick. Nice move there by Aberdeen. Left it a little bit long there. Then Tillery with the rebound. Nice move to get free. Comes Satterfield for three, and he hits it. Now we got ourselves a one-possession ball game here. There it is. All right, a little timeout for Dr. Phillips. Going to regroup here as Greeneville's starting to hit from the perimeter on a pretty high level, and we haven't really seen Jacoby Gillespie get going here. Yeah,
and one of the things there, the last couple of possessions, they've done a good job of getting that three in transition before the defense can get set, before they can necessarily fan out. A lot of people teach to sprint to the paint and fan out. Well, that's pretty much what Dr. Phillips is doing right there. Well, by the time they fan out, it's not there.
Right.
That's already in the air. It's already going through the hoop, basically. And so a really smart thing there by Greeneville. You a lot of times as a coach, you don't think those are necessarily good shots, but if that's what you work on, you're going to get them.
Well, just watching that last play unfold, you could see that Satterfield has been told, he's been coached to, in that second, it wasn't really kind of a primary, you could even be into a secondary break there, really, because after we had one pass in between. But he was told to run to that spot, right? And if you're open, you let it fly, right? And so, and for a team like Greeneville, that's at a pretty heavy size disadvantage, you're going to have to be able to hit those shots regularly to stay in a game like this. And as you said earlier, right on, teams that hit threes that's the equalizer in many of these ball games. So Greeneville's done a good job of recognizing that, and they've stepped up and knocked these shots down. So heading up on the halfway point of the second quarter, we got ourselves a ball game, 26-23. Dr. Phillips over Greeneville. Dr. Phillips with the ball. Riley Kugel with the ball in his hands. He's going to trigger it in. There goes Sheffield to the rim. Nice move left-handed. He's got to the rim twice now off of nice drives. Got himself to the free throw line for one. Nice little bucket there.
I think he felt like he got hit on that one. He was kind of holding his head right after he got through there. But May was still able to finish.
Right. Played it through a little bit of contact. It's going to be requisite in these ball games out here, I would suspect. Gillespie with the ball out top, going up against Kugel. Staying low with his dribble. Nice little crossover there. Took a little bit of contact. Almost finished that through that. Really nice low crossover dribble right there by Gillespie. Got himself free. Took a little bit of a bump. And he's going to go to the free throw line for two. He also wins the award this evening for the most neon-colored shoes that I've seen so far. Knocks down his first free throw. Those are burning my retinas.
Those
are some bright shoes. We look at his direction.
Let's just say I'm not sure that I could pull those off. I don't know about you.
I would venture to say that they would be outside of my wardrobe collection for certain in that case. But he wears them well. Gillespie with two, knocks them down both.
Of course, when you got big old feet like me, you don't want to draw any attention to them. So,
Oh, that's offensive foul. Yeah, I saw that one coming right out of the gate. Right. So, number 4, Tillery leaned in right there, and he's going to draw the offensive foul as he was going by. Satterfield absorbed that contact. Ball back to Greeneville. 3-point ball game. Interesting phase of the game right here. Goes Gillespie. Quick with the dribble for sure. He's starting to feel it a little bit, I think. You want to get him going. He's Greeneville's best player and has been. Certainly offensively is a really talented player as well. There's Satterfield. Sets up for three. No good. Good board on the backside by Grove. Kind of battle for it. He's going to stick with it. Kicks it over to Dabbs. Dabbs back out to Gillespie. Little shake and bake maneuver right there. Over-under move by Gillespie. Got by the big man and laid it up. Crowd likes it. And now we got ourselves a 1-point ball game. 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Really sweet maneuver there.
Coach Witherspoon did not like it.
Witherspoon was
Coach
not a
Witherspoon was over here asking for a palming violation.
No, look at it. My man Jackson Tillery, all 5'7" of him, flexing a little bit. Right? Well-built cat. Got a little bounce to his game as well. Went up strong and got that board. Greeneville's going to retain possession here. I hesitate to diagnose that a little bit further, but I don't necessarily disagree with Dr. Phillips. It looked like the hand stayed on top of the ball, but
it's pretty though.
It was a nice move, irregardless of all of that. Gillespie was able to maneuver. Speaking of Gillespie, he's going to launch a three from way downtown over Uday, and we see Greeneville now take their first lead of the ball game here with the 30-27. Right? After a 9-0 run to start the game, Dr. Phillips finds themselves down to Greeneville here as we head to the 2-minute mark of the first half. Big time stuff for Greeneville, sticking with their game plan and making it work. Nice pass by Uday over to Aberdeen, who has that ball rattle in and out. That was 3/4 of the way down. Here goes Gillespie again. Nice kick to Satterfield for three. Off the rim, no good. Battled for. Uday with a Willie Mays basket catch right there. And on the other end, we see Kugel change ends quickly and bring the Panthers back within one. So
looks like Kugel's having a little bit of fun with the Greeneville cheering section down here in the
letting them know about it a little bit. Yeah, they're getting on him a little bit.
Yeah, blew him a little kiss, I believe.
Well, we'll see if that pays dividends or no. Right, the Greeneville crowd definitely is into it. As is just the crowd in general. This is one of these type of ball games that you show up for right here, right?
Yes, sir.
Back and forth action. You got a lot of talent on both sides, and you're starting to see the best players on both teams starting to assert themselves here, which is really definitely what you want to see. So Greeneville with the ball. 1:34 to go in the first half. Got a 1-point lead. Again, kudos to Greeneville for figuring out after that early 9-0 run. What they needed to do to kind of scratch and claw their way back in. And again, a lot of that has been timely shooting. They've shot the ball really well from the perimeter here in the first half. Gillespie going to key it in. High ball screen with Grove. Nice crossover dribble. Dabs. That steps back out. We got a stop and play here for a little referees conference. We have a clock didn't start maybe? Yeah. Had a little clock malfunction there for just a second.
Yeah, they took 3 seconds off right there.
Did the score change on us there?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. All right. Satterfield takes it down strong. Gets up in the air and scores. Greeneville back on top. 2-point lead. Heading up on the minute mark here in the first half. Greeneville been very impressive here, especially in the second quarter. Taking it to Dr. Phillips to a certain extent when it gets down to. Nice move by Aberdeen. That's athletic play. You don't get recruited by Florida for nothing, right? That's a great move right there for him. Avoiding the contact, first of all, and good body control to lay that one off the glass. Nice move by him.
Yeah, just kind of slinked his way through right there.
Grove with a little head fake. Nice backdoor cut. Tillery's going to take it in strong. Good defense there. Grove takes it up strong again. Swatted away by Uday from the backside.
I think Tillery, you can kind of understand, but I think he was trying to draw the contact.
Nice move by Kugel. Great move.
And then Kugel, Yeah,
agreed. I don't even think you need to do that. If you just took it up strong, I think you probably would have drawn a foul there. You understand, right? 5'7" guy, even though he's got pretty good bounce to his game, you're taking it up into the trees. But that led to a score on the other end. Really tough shot by Kugel on the other end. Looking for a foul, didn't get it. But as we roll up on the final shot of the first half here, Gillespie lost control of the ball. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Step back three from long range, almost drained that. Would have liked to see the Greeneville crowd's reaction if that had gone. But a heck of a first half. Really entertaining first half.
Viking Hall crowd getting into it. I mean, obviously a lot of Greeneville fans, but a lot of fans in general. Great first half of basketball right there.
Yep. So we're halfway through the second ball game of the evening. We're in for some good stuff here. The first game was great, 71-70. Berkmar over Dorman in the first ball game. We got a 2-point game at halftime here between Dr. Phillips and Greeneville. Stick with us as we continue the action here. We'll be back after a halftime break. Be back in about 10 minutes. Come back to us. We'll take you guys through the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Studio One in Kingsport, Tennessee. Performing choreography by Olivia Bevins and under the direction of Lena Rock Warner.
Welcome back to Viking Hall. Arby's Classic, 38th annual. We're at halftime here between the Dr. Phillips Panthers and the Greeneville Green Devils. Tight ball game here as we begin this, the second half. 34-32. Let's look at some halftime stats as we roll through. Good shooting by both teams in the first half. Overall, Dr. Phillips shot 15 of 26 from the floor, 12 of 17 from 2, and 3 of 9 from 3. So again, high quality shooting all the way around. Both sides even at 11 rebounds apiece. Greeneville kind of struggled a little bit at the beginning, but really picked up the pace as we got through the kind of midpoint of the first quarter and then on all the way through the second quarter. So they're 12 of 25 from the field, 6 of 12 from 3, however, and that was really the big difference as we saw them close the gap after a 9-0 run with Dr. Phillips to start the ballgame. Interestingly enough, I probably would have lost a bet with Coach Tiller here. We find that Dr. Phillips does not have a single scorer in double figures.
Man.
Yeah, which I would have lost that bet going into this thing, considering the talent they have on the floor. But as what we find is balanced scoring across the way. Aberdeen with 4 points, Kugel with 6, Uday with 8. Right? So and then you had Jonathan Casato, who had 5 points in a row at 1 point in the second quarter. So again, balanced scoring across the board. Greeneville, kind of the same thing, although as we look at their stats across here, Dabbs was the big difference maker in that first half. Shot 5 of 5 from the field, perfect from the field,
especially early.
Yeah, early on, he was the guy that kind of kept him in the ball game as everybody else got up to speed. So Jate Dabbs really making that happen for he and his teammates. Then we end up with Gillespie started to really kind of get into his groove there towards the kind of midpoint of the second quarter on to finish out the half, and missed a long three that probably would have sent this place into a frenzy with Greeneville really kind of closing the gap. So we're looking forward to an entertaining second half here, and especially if that second quarter is any indication. That's exactly what we'll get. So third quarter action getting ready to start. We'll see exactly how this is all going to kind of shake out, but really an entertaining first half. We're looking forward to seeing how the second half unfolds. So, third quarter action getting ready to begin. It appears that it'll be Dr. Phillips' ball coming out. And it is. Riley Kugel's going to key it in. And we'll get this second half underway. Greeneville is to be manning up to the half court. Ball running through Uday at the top of the key. He dips down into the double team right there. kick out. Nice, finds Kugel on the wing. That luck ball looks a little off. Good box out. Really nice box out by Grove right there. Putting Uday on his back and riding him out. Good hustle back by Uday, though. Got a little 2-on-1 break. Up to Kugel. Oh, left it a little bit long. Rose up. Got a good flush on it, but the ball ended up off the back of the rim. And no harm, no foul there for Greeneville. Here's Gillespie into that 15-foot area. Got that one a little bit long. So the pace is picked up quickly. And
Coach Witherspoon isn't real happy right here.
He's getting after his guys. Not real happy with the effort so far here in the third quarter. Trying to set the tone here, I think, with his guys. But then again, I'm not necessarily seeing anything super lackadaisical. I think this is maybe more of an effort. The idea that this team needs this first couple of minutes to really kind of push out a lead and start to feel a little more comfortable.
And I'd say he's probably upset with their focus right there.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
You want to do some of that stuff like the alley-oops and whatnot, but you got to finish. I mean, you got to get it done, and it looked like he was really getting after Tillery, honestly.
Yeah.
Number 4 is the guy who he was really getting after, and, I mean, he knows his players.
Well, he's probably telling him, make the simple play right there. 2-on-1 break. Get it to Kugel, and he's going to finish regardless. Right? Everything doesn't have to be showtime. As much as everybody likes that, right? We're here to win ball games. That sure seemed to be what was on his mind right there. We're here to get the crowd excited too, but we're here to win ball games. So good defense there by Greeneville. Caused a turnover. And ball's back on their end. So minute into the third quarter, a couple of turnovers on. And a missed dunk right on Dr. Phillips' side. There's Gillespie to the rim. Got a nice move right there. Kind of snuck by the exterior defense. And, again, really nice under control move right there. And Gillespie ties the ball game. So, with some continuity. I would suspect that ball was going to go down low on that possession right there. Uday got it where he wanted to be, but could not finish. I would suspect that Dr. Phillips' coach probably in that timeout said, hey, that's where our biggest advantage is. Let's get back to it. Got it right where they wanted it, just couldn't quite finish there. Greeneville kind of spreading Dr. Phillips out here. 5 out. And Greeneville very guard-oriented just in their setup. Here's Dabbs, who was perfect from the field in the first half. Satterfield, who was kind of sneaky good, too. Made a couple of timely shots, played good defense. He's probably, he's the biggest body. He's not the tallest guy, but he's pretty strong. I think that's allowed him to really kind of hold his own out there against a really talented and athletic group from Dr. Phillips. A lot of this offense going through Gillespie. Missed that one, but he's followed up by his running mate, Grove. Gillespie's kind of controlling the offensive end here at this point, and everything's playing off of him, which you would expect from Greeneville.
Well, and right there, Uday went to challenge the shot, and his man is the one who ended up getting the offensive rebound.
There's Dabbs taking that away. Kind of a floating pass, and Dabbs is able to go up strong and knock it down. There's Satterfield again for 3. He's got it. Greeneville's starting to figure it out in terms of what they need to do to be able to penetrate the defense. Nice hands by Dabbs, and then we got a hold on Aberdeen. Starting to see a little bit of a dejected look by some of these players from Dr. Phillips. And again, Greeneville, obviously with a partisan crowd here behind them, but they're also just out executing Dr. Phillips right now. That's just the truth of the matter. Well,
and I think that Dr. Phillips might have gotten a little comfortable early and thought that this was going to be a walkover. And Greeneville's a quality basketball team. And you know as well as I do as a coach, you can warn your kids all you want, but when they perceive that they have – that they're the favorite, that they're going to be able to do it, and especially when it comes kind of easy early, you can lose that focus, and they appear to have lost that. We talked in the first quarter about how sharp they look, and they haven't really looked that sharp since then.
I agree. A little bit of complacency setting in maybe after that early 9-0 run. There's Gillespie from long range. He starts knocking those down. Greeneville's going to be right in the thick of this thing from top to bottom. They're already with a 5-point lead here. Kick to the corner, right? A little bit short there by Sheffield, but followed up nicely by Aberdeen. Good athletic move by him. Saw that ball was going to be short and went and got it.
And of course, Gillespie is no slouch. I mean, he's going to Belmont. Right. I mean, that's a pretty high level Division I program, not a Power 5 program, but a team that wins NCAA
That's
tournament
what I'm
games
saying,
all the time.
I'm going to say, if you haven't watched any NCAA tournaments here recently, they're not a team that's going to be an easy out for anybody.
Oh.
Right? And their style really fits his style. Perimeter-oriented, shoot the three. But that's also, when you get into those kind of mid-major teams, that's usually what they do well, right? Belmont is no slouch either, right? And they've been a really successful program here over the last decade. So I'd say he'll fit in nicely there. Step back by Gillespie's got it lined up a little bit long. Good rebound there by Uday over top of everybody. 4-minute mark here in the third quarter. Halfway through. Greenville's got to be feeling great about where they are right now. There's Uday inside. That's got to be where they go going forward. Again, to try to reestablish some continuity, go to your big man who's has a massive advantage here.
Well, but really kind of smart there by Grove too, knowing he was beat, knowing he was pinned. Go ahead and commit the foul before he has a chance to shoot. So now they have to execute a baseline out of bounds play, and
got five of them for a reason, right? It's only his first.
Yeah. So a really a pretty smart play by him. Oh, wanted to get that lob, couldn't get there.
Greeneville was ready for it. There's Aberdeen cutting through. Nice pass to the corner. Shots up and long, no good. Uday chases the rebound down. He's starting to pick his pace up a little bit. Aberdeen from straight away knocks it down. So again, that's really where Dr. Phillips can assert themselves with that athletic and the athletic ability and length. Going and hitting the offensive glass hard is something that they should be able to take advantage of. In that case, led to an open three on after an offensive rebound. There's Dabbs. Good look from the corner. Can't ask for a better one. And he's been money all night. Just couldn't quite get that one.
Too open that time, I guess.
I thought I had an extra second to think about it. But he's got a really good stroke, and that one just carries a little bit long on him. Right. Battle for the board, right inside. Tillery knocked it out of bounds. That's what Greeneville's got to do. I mean, with Uday, who's good looking to be that backside rebounder there. Got to get at least one body, if not two bodies, on him.
Had a pretty good hold of one of his arms.
Well, you do what you got to do.
That's true.
Sato with a nice move up and under there. He's been a pretty consistent scorer for those guys. He looks pretty aggressive off the bench. 7 points for him on the night. On high-level shooting. There goes Gillespie. Got a good look at it, and that one goes down. So he's, again, I keep coming back to it. If he gets that going, right, he's going to be really tough to deal with because he's also got that kind of hesitation dribble that's going to get him free for those one-dribble jump shots or into the lane if he wants. So, again, he hasn't been able to knock that down consistently so far, but if that comes, he's going to be tough to deal with. Aberdeen with a long three. Good rebound there by Grove, sneaking in between the offensive players there and pulling that rebound down.
Probably can't go under those screens on Gillespie.
No. You're going to have to hedge on him and try to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, he went over that time.
Yeah. Good hands there by Aberdeen. Stepped into that passing lane. Sheffield back to Aberdeen. Nice. That's about as good as you can do a 2-on-1 break right there.
And a smart job by Aberdeen right there, too, not trying to do too much. Yep. I mean, I think he thought he was going to get a dunk, but then he was a little off balance. And he's like, nope, I got to get my two right here.
Well, you give it up and you usually get it back. In situations like that, that first pass is really key. They did a good job of executing that against that single defender. Gillespie key in the offense for Greeneville. Ball through Satterfield, who's, again, been really effective offensive player, kind of opportunistic guy throughout that. And there's Gillespie with a little runner, right? And he knocks it down. Again, that's that mid-range, too. When he starts hitting things from the perimeter, that's what's going to open up that mid-range game for him. And, again, he's starting to feel it a little bit. We get into this waning part of the third quarter. Gillespie just kind of strikes me as a fourth-quarter guy, right? He's going to be a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. And I'd expect he's probably going to be a main player in that case. A little physicality all over the floor. Got bodies everywhere. But
there was going to be a foul on Greeneville one way or the other right there. And they fouled the shooter maybe after the shot. We'll see if they're – No.
I think they're going to give him three.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll get the shooting foul, but there was going to be one under the bucket if it hadn't been that one. So
Slater is going to step to the line here. Have been very, very few free throws in this game.
Yes.
I think just a handful all the way through. Two teams that, even with Uday, it's been mostly perimeter oriented. So not a lot of fouls called.
Or dunks.
Or dunks. Yeah, absolutely. Transition. So this is what you got. All that being said, we got a 44-44 ball game here with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Tell you what, the crowd here this evening getting their money's worth. had a barn burner in the first game. Looks like we're setting up for a barn burner in this one. And looking at the matchups, this is the one you thought, well, maybe this one won't be the barn burner because the next two matchups are pretty darn stout as well.
Agreed. We've been talking up Gillespie. He's up to 16 points at this point, so he's really started to assert himself in the second half. He's going to need to be their main guy, I think. He's a matchup issue. He's really slick with the ball. He can hit that three, but he also, that mid-range game, I think, is his forte. And then he also has guys around the perimeter that can shoot it. Good look for there. Satterfield, a little hesitation, dribble back out to Dabbs. Got a good look at a three from the top of the key, and he knocks it down. So after a slight hiccup on the last one, steps back in and knocks that one down confidently. Dabbs, who's been shot the ball really well. He's up to 16 points, I believe, as well on the evening. So he and Gillespie have been the 1-2 punch, and most of that damage has been done from the perimeter. Greeneville's picking up the defensive intensity here after that made three. Under 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Good ball movement here by Dr. Phillips, looking to set up Uday down low, takes it up strong. That's what, again, that's just there's not a whole lot Greeneville can do about that when the patience is there for the Panthers. Uday did a good job of keeping the defender on his backside. And if he turns right there, he's either going to score or he's going to get fouled very likely.
Well, and the good thing, too, though, I mean, he did a good enough job pushing him out that he's going to make him make two. Make him make them both.
I agree.
Don't give him a layup or a dunk. And the first one's long.
It's a solid strategy. If he gets it down low, get to his arms, make him earn it from the free throw line. Until he proves that he can do that consistently. That's the way I would go as well. That was really long.
Oh, mercy.
That's a foul over the back. Yep. Good box out there by Gillespie. Yeah, it's over the back. I mean, that's classic over the back. There's not really an argument there.
That's pretty standard. I don't know what else you want right there. Travis Chandler is trying to communicate that to both Uday and his coach.
I'm not sure what the argument is here. Looked like it's just a classic free throw box out.
Yeah.
And the guy's long, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll give him that, but you can't reach over a guy's body, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't like he just reached up and without there being any contact.
No.
There was quite a bit of contact.
No.
I mean, sometimes as a big guy, you do get really frustrated when you can just jump higher than the other guy, even if he does have inside position. But that was a good box out. Here we're going to have a little shot right here at the buzzer.
Buzzer right left hand. Ooh. Sheffield got a good look, stepped into it. Off glass, no good. Right? So, after three, we have, again, I would agree with Coach Siller, a little bit of a surprise maybe that Greeneville is not only hanging in the ballgame, they're leading this ballgame going into the fourth quarter. And so, with 8 minutes to go, 47-46, Greeneville is leading Dr. Phillips. We've got fourth quarter action coming up. We're going to step aside for just a minute, gather ourselves. We'll be back with you all shortly. Welcome back to Viking Hall, 38th Annual Arby's Classic. We are in the fourth quarter here with Greeneville leading Dr. Phillips 47-46. Bit of a surprise, I would say, but Greeneville has really been up to the task. Really, outside of that 9-0 run to begin the ball game, it has been Greeneville really in control of this thing ever since. Gillespie controlling things in the half court. He had a really strong third quarter. 16 points, along with Dabbs with 16 to lead the way for Greeneville. Ball's going to be in his hands a lot here. Nice move into the lane, up and off the glass. That's tough. That is a tough shot. But
great change of pace right there, too. I mean, just that little hesitation just bought him just enough space to be able to get that shot up and over the taller defender.
Absolutely. I think you can make an argument at this point that he's been the best player on the floor most of the night. Got a little bit of a slow start, but ever since about the maybe not halfway point of the second quarter, he's been the best player out there. Aberdeen with a Division I move right
100%.
there. One dribble up and under at the rim. Feathery in that case. Really nice move on his part.
And right there, really good offensive patience by them because they ran a little cross screen right down here for Kugel, and he was open, but not really. I mean, he was open enough that, most people would have thrown that in there, but then they just made that one extra pass, and Aberdeen had a lane right down Broadway for an easy layup.
Absolutely, and I think what you saw there was Greeneville actually recognized what they were trying to do, and Aberdeen was able to counter. And again, he doesn't need a whole lot of space. Right?
He does not.
One dribble right there, and he's going to elevate, and he's going to be there's not anybody that Greeneville's going to bring to the table, unfortunately, that's going to be able to challenge him at the rim. He's got great ups, and he gets up quick. So nice move there. Brings Dr. Phillips back within 1 point.
A little surprised right there, Dr. Phillips taking that timeout. Of course, right early in the fourth quarter, but also getting them down to 2 for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, in a close game, you may need those down the stretch. Greeneville with 3 timeouts left.
I'm guessing there may be a little bit of strategy change, maybe defensively, maybe you're going to add a little bit of pressure after made baskets or something like that. I would venture to say there's a good likelihood that that's the case. Coog with a little bit of a bump there.
A little sloppy closeout right there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And again, when a guy with that level of length and talent, all he's got to do is chop his feet right there, and he's going to be in perfect position. Those types of fouls are the ones that drive coaches nuts.
Looks like Slater is face guarding Gillespie now.
That's what it was.
Nice that's an illegal screen. That's obvious.
So, much to what Coach Tiller and I were just saying, a little bit of a strategy change defensively there, where they're going to really try to do as much as they can to keep the ball out of Gillespie's hands, or if the ball leaves his hands, they're not going to let him get it back. Right? So, smart strategy considering how much Gillespie's affected the game, especially since the second quarter. So, one dribble up to Uday, could not tap it in. Got his own board though.
Oh, what an athletic play to get back and get that rebound. Lord have mercy.
Right. Dabs picks Kugel's pocket, brings it in the front court over to Grove, who was looking for Gillespie, but Aberdeen was able to step in.
Aberdeen
nice pass
kind of baited
there.
him.
Yep, he did. Baited him into it.
He was trailing the play right there. He's just like, yeah, I know you're going to try to throw it to him, so I'll just take that. Thank you very much.
Yep. And he's got a bucket on the other end by Tillery. Puts Dr. Phillips back on top. 50. Yep, and there's another one. It's the same type of thing.
He's just kind of losing his cool right here.
Yeah. He's got his pocket picked on one end. He had 2 kind of silly fouls in the last couple of positions down there. I think it's a good job by Coach here pulling him out of the game, trying to get his head back.
Well, and he also just picked up his 4th.
Right.
So, obviously you'll do it for that, but I think you're right. I mean, even if it was his 3rd, I probably would have gotten him just to kind of give him a chance to reset a little bit.
Yeah. We were talking during the break, but he just hasn't been much of a presence here in the second half. So a little bit of a lack of focus. Maybe we were talking about that timeout right at the beginning of the second.
Quick release.
Oh, my goodness.
Quick release.
Quick release. I believe that hit glass. I believe that caught some glass.
I think it caught a little bit.
Unintentionally. But that, again, it all counts the same. It looks the same in the scorebook. So, a 2-point lead now for Greeneville after that fortuitous bounce, shall we say, by Reed Satterfield. Now Greeneville, again, picking up that defensive intensity. A hot 2-man game up top with Aberdeen and Uday. And got a 5-second call.
Oh my goodness. See, I don't know about that
marginal.
One. Just because the defender switched. I mean, it was like he had gotten away from the initial defender who you would have started the count on, but again, he's got a little better view of it than I do.
Foul, reaching foul.
I think we're going to get a hold off the ball there.
Yep.
No, it was on Uday.
Reaching foul there. So we got 5 fouls now on Dr. Phil. So fouls, I mean, I wouldn't say they're mounting up, but we certainly have had more here in the last little bit than we've had most of the game. So I think guys getting a little tight here.
Nice play by Slater. Oh, goodness.
Stepped in nicely. and scored it. And I think I see what Gillespie was trying to do there. He was trying to kind of push off and get a little bit of a flare action, and it was probably going to be open for a three. But Slater read it correctly, took it right out of Grove's hands, and was able to take it down for a score. Smart play.
I think Grove thought he was getting a dribble handoff, and Gillespie had read it right, but just,
tried to call an audible on it.
Slater made a better read.
Agreed. Really nice defensive play there. Here goes Gillespie. A little push off there. Step back three. Bottom. Big time play right there by Jacoby Gillespie. Step back. Just got his feet back behind the 3-point line and was able to drop that, pushing that lead for Greeneville back out to three. Right about the halfway point of the fourth quarter. We're going to have an over and back call here. Yep. Greeneville did a good job defensively there of affecting that pass. I'm not sure if the ball might have been out on Greeneville if they'd let it go.
Yeah, it probably
looked like it to me, but I couldn't tell it that maybe Tillery thought that he had tipped that. But nonetheless, Greeneville triggered it into the half court. Ooh, good catch by Tillery there. And that ball in Greenville's possession. We got a timeout here. Greeneville wants to set up a out of bounds play maybe, or just kind of settle his guys in for the last half of this fourth quarter. Really entertaining game, kind of back and forth here. All even. So, again, after an initial 9-0 run to start the game, I really feel like Greeneville has really kind of controlled this thing since then. You look at it, even just looking at the kind of score by quarters. Greeneville has won 2 quarters and is ahead here in the fourth. Yeah.
Dr. Phillips won the first quarter 20-12, and since then it's been 20-14 Greeneville, 15-12 Greeneville, and now 8-6 Greeneville.
Yeah.
So, that's been really the difference here. After that initial haymaker, the Green Devils have just hung in.
Yeah, the proof is right there. So, anyway, 4 minutes to go as we get into crunch time here. I would suspect that you're going to see a whole lot of Jacoby Gillespie with the ball in his hands. He's been really creative, hitting shots at different angles. He's not been afraid to take it in strong, but he also has avoided over-penetration.
Yes.
And really, this second half is where he started to feel his outside stroke a little bit more regular. He's just a tough guard. He's low to the ground. He keeps his dribble low, but he also gets a shot off quickly. So should be interesting to see how all this plays out. A little over-the-top screen right there, got a hold on Slater. That's a nice play. That's a nice play call out of the timeout. They know what Slater's trying to do is deny that basketball back to Gillespie, so they ran him across too high, staggered screens right there. And he was going to, if he didn't get fouled, he's probably going to get a 3 off right there if that's what he wanted. Nice, really nice play selection there by the Greeneville bench. Dabb's going to key it in here. Again, same play, just the opposite direction. Good job by Slater to work over the top of that screen that time.
He was not going to be fooled
twice.
twice.
No, he saw. I think he definitely saw what was coming. Dribble handoff action. Gillespie back to Dabbs in the corner. He's going to step on in. Good patience here. There's Satterfield, a wide open look, and he knocks it down.
We know he's going to make those.
Yeah.
If he's wide open.
Absolutely. Great look. He was wide open and was able to knock that down from the top of the key. Great offensive patience and execution. Aberdeen with a strong drive to the basket. He's going to get himself to the free throw line for 2. I don't know that you can ask better execution than what you got right there. That's great execution.
Looks like we're going to have a technical on the bench here on Dr. Phillips.
Yeah.
Coach Witherspoon is hot.
And I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not sure what would necessitate that. On the other end, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's definitely on the coach.
Head coach. Foul.
I'm just not sure. He may have said some magic words, or he may have just. He may have been upset because of the foul on that staggered screen out of the timeout.
Maybe.
It's hard telling, but
I don't. Yeah, that's a really bad time for something like that to happen too. This team's trying to claw back into this thing.
Well, Aberdeen needs to make these 2 free throws because Greeneville's going to get 2 free throws and the ball.
Correct.
So
he's going to miss that first one.
The first one. They need points right now. They're down 6.
We talk a lot of times about players keeping their composure. That applies to the bench as well.
Oh, absolutely.
In situations like this, especially, you're in a tightly contested ball game. Every one of these free shots that you give up right here, and they're going to give up the ball. Well, it was going to be a free throw anyway, but now you're guaranteeing that the other team's going to get that ball off of this as well. So 58-53. Gillespie's going to step to the line for 2. These are the technical free throws. Knocks down the first. Second one is up and good as well. So Greeneville will have the ball.
So, I mean, on this exchange right here, that's +1 already for Greeneville, and now they're going to get a chance to shoot another, I mean, they could get 2 or 3 more. And if that's the case, it puts Dr. Phillips in a really precarious position.
7-point lead, so we got a 3-possession ball game now. And one more bucket pushes this thing up to.
They really need to stop.
Yep, and they've got a foul there. Yep, he's done. He did. I mean, it was a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul.
We're sitting here watching it from a bird's eye view, and it was coming off the screen. He was beat, and he just pushed it. I mean, so that's the 5th foul on Kugel. But I mean, it was the right call.
Yeah. I agree.
So Gillespie's going to step to the line for a 1-and-1 here. We got a timeout coming here, I believe, for Dr. Phillips.
And that's
he's only got 1 left.
Yeah.
So this is a really pivotal time here. If they make Gillespie steps to the line here and is able to knock down 2, you're talking about a 9-point game with 3 minutes to go. 9 points has been really tough to come by, really since that opening burst that Dr. Phillips has had. They've been kind of struggling to put points on the board.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about the team that's really the consensus tournament favorite coming in. I mean, of course, Long Island Lutheran also really highly ranked, and we'll see them here very shortly.
Yep.
But this is the team that a lot of people were like, they're the team to beat. Well, they're on the ropes right now.
Agreed.
I mean,
and I think Greeneville just really since that early run, not only has controlled pace, they've also controlled tempo, and defensively they've started to figure out how to defend Dr. Phillips specifically.
Yeah.
They doubled down on that post. If anything, tried to make him, Uday, give it up. But the reality is they've also really done a really good job of keeping Dr. Phillips' guards in front of him. Right?
Yeah, and they've really taken Uday completely out of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been stuck on 8 points for a long time, and hasn't really been a factor.
Nope.
And
most of those 8 points in the first quarter.
That's the place where you felt like they had a real advantage, and Greeneville's done a good job adjusting defensively and taking that away.
So, hats off to the game planning and even in-game adjustments that Greeneville's brought to the table.
Yeah.
Gillespie gets that first one to roll in, pushing lead up to 8 points. But again, that's how these games go. With an unfamiliar opponent, you're gonna run into certain things that you're gonna have to adjust to, and Greeneville has done a great job of that all the way through this. Really, after the first couple of minutes of the ball game. So 9-point lead at the 3-minute mark for Greeneville. We got a hand check foul there on Gillespie. Trying to push Aberdeen to the corner, but they had one to give. So next team foul for Greeneville will put us in the bonus both ways. Dr. Phillips has 18 fouls. So free throws all the way, or free throws the rest of the way for both teams. Right at the 3-minute mark. Greeneville with a 9-point lead. Uday setting high ball screens here, running their guards off of it. Nice move by Aberdeen, and he's going to get offensive that. And I really love that call.
I don't like that one at all.
Already down on the floor.
And there wasn't very much contact. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that one.
We talked about that a little bit last night, and the idea that sometimes we get a little charge happy with the stripes here. And that one really, because he'd already come down, right, in that case as well. Just let that one go.
And that's another case. I mean, he's down here under the basket.
Yeah.
Just don't really like that one.
I agree. So, anyway, now we got a run and jump double team coming here. Greeneville going to have to try to take care of the basketball right here. They take care of the basketball, make free throws. The long arm of the law comes in. Uday ahead to Aberdeen, who's going to dunk that home. Nice D right there. And again, Greeneville is going to run up against a run and jump trap here. Would be my guess through most of this. They're going to reach in foul there. Satterfield did a good job of being strong with the basketball there. And again, nothing against Gillespie there, but you just don't see guys with the length of an Uday coming from off the ball. In most cases, to get after you. You did a good job of reaching in and getting a hand on that ball, and then that led to an easy dunk on the other end. Again, Satterfield did a really nice job there of protecting the basketball. He's going to get himself to the free throw line for 2 in the double bonus here for Greeneville the rest of the way. He sets that up, knocks it down. been really a key player for them all night long.
100%. He has been huge.
Yeah. Stepped up in just about every other situation when Dr. Phillips is trying to push the ball out of Gillespie's hands. He's found Satterfield on a couple of occasions, and he has delivered in just about every case. 2 minutes to go. Aberdeen takes a long three and buries it. That's a big shot.
They need a lot of that.
They needed that one big time. Right? Gillespie able to evade into the front court. Turns his back for a second there, but he's going to get a foul called. Got lucky there, quite honestly. Lost sight of Tillery there for a second. Looked like he might get his pocket pick, but caught it just in time. Tillery picks up his fourth foul. Well, that's his fifth. It's 5 on him. I think we had 4.
Well, it says 4 on the scoreboard.
Yep.
But
that's not official, right?
No.
Okay, good deal. The book is official, so we get word from our producer that 5 is the correct number. So, a couple of casualties already for Dr. Phillips as we wane down these final moments. Greeneville doing a good job of making free throws here, keeping Dr. Phillips at bay. Gillespie at the line. He's got 2 coming. Missed that first one, a little bit long on that. Gillespie has 25 points on the night. And he has been everything as advertised as well. If nothing else, I'd say he's probably been the most impactful player on the floor this evening. That's saying something considering the amount of talent that Dr. Phillips brings to the table. Missed 2 free throws there, though. Tillery digs that out. Aberdeen's able to secure it. He launches a 3 up and no good. There's Gillespie over everybody going to get that rebound. Awesome effort right there by Jacoby Gillespie. Took one bounce and went up over top of everyone out there, was able to secure that board. So he's going to try to make amends after missing 2 free throws here. No harm, no foul, because Dr. Phillips was not able to convert on the other end.
Yeah, if they get that 3 to go, we got a 3-point game, and it gets real serious. But
yeah, it was a big miss.
Just not able to convert, and I don't think Gillespie's going to miss 2 again. Miss,
I would suspect that is going to be the case. Aberdeen had a good look at it right there.
Yeah, he did.
Good look at it, stepped into it, shot it confidently, had made one on the trip down before, just could not get that one to go. Here's Gillespie with the second one. I don't think he touched the rim on either one of those. So, made amends in that case. We're under 2 minutes to play, and 3-pointer from the corner there. Slater had a good look at it. Nice pass from Aberdeen, set that up.
Well, that's kind of what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to trade 3s for 2s.
That's it.
You know,
Gillespie into the front court.
I try and get it out of Gillespie's hands.
Yep, he's going to be a guy that he's just going to dribble.
He is not going to let him.
He's so slick.
He is not giving it up.
No, and doesn't really have any reason to. They're going to have to foul here in this case. That was a nice play by Aberdeen. Left-handed pass found Slater in the corner. Slater stepped in and knocked it down. Good spacing. Kind of put Greeneville in a bind. Now, again, in these types of situations, I'm screaming at my team to guard the 3-point line.
Yes.
2-point buckets don't really hurt you much. Of course, you got to make free throws to make that stick.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I'm on that 3-point line, and if they're driving to the rim, I'm okay with that. We can challenge, put them at the free throw line. I'm okay with that. But yeah, you got to get your feet up to that 3-point line and ensure that you're not going to get beat there.
Certainly make them take tough contested ones.
Absolutely. If they're going to shoot a 3, it's going to be over somebody. Absolutely. Here goes Aberdeen, strong to the rim, takes it strong, and scores.
Speaking of one of those.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Again, you want to look a little more resistance than that. There's Gillespie, nice pass in by Satterfield.
Nice trap right there.
Got the ball back to him. He's going to take it.
I don't know that I want to foul him either. That's who I would have tried to foul. One of those guys.
Now they're going to have to foul here.
Yeah.
A lot of precious time coming off the clock, and Dab's able to evade. And now they're chasing out.
They've got to take one.
That let probably 15 seconds run off the clock right there.
I mean, it's still a 2-possession game. I mean, they're right here.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly, again, if they can trade some 2s for 3s, but, and of course, Greeneville's got to hit their free throws. Of course, this young man has shot the eyes out of it today.
Yes. Been just about perfect.
We haven't seen him here at the line, but we've seen him shooting it pretty well from everywhere else. So
look the part right there for sure.
Yes, he did.
So
I think he can stand still and shoot the ball.
No doubt about it.
Because he hadn't taken any off the dribble today. They've all been catch and shoots, and that's pretty much what you do on the foul line.
That's it. Same thing. Didn't even touch the rim on either one of those.
Greeneville going to take a 30 right here.
So 6-point lead, minute to go. This game's far from over.
Yeah,
far from over. But again, on the defensive end, strategy-wise here, you don't want to get beat with 3s. Right?
No.
But at the same time, you you want to make sure that you're not giving up just easy ones either. So the clock is your ally here. The clock is your friend, and it's kind of a delicate balance because I'm sure when they're talking strategy with Dr. Phillips here, they're saying we want to drive and kick. We'll take a quick too. But if you can drive and draw and kick out, that's really what we're looking for.
Well, and really, if you're Greeneville, you not only do you want to get them off the free throw line, you want to make them have to take some time to get those twos.
Correct.
You don't want it to be one of those deals where they just go straight downhill and get a bucket.
Right.
And so, and here too is where only having the one timeout left makes it really tough for Dr. Phillips, because in high school basketball, the clock doesn't stop on a made basket.
Correct.
In college basketball, the clock stops when the ball goes through the hoop in the final minute. That's not the case here. Now, if he had finished that one, that's the worst case scenario for Greeneville.
Give up points and have the clock stop on you as well.
Yeah, and allow them to set up their defense and all of that kind of stuff.
All of 3.5 seconds came off the clock right there. So, and again, you're going up against a Division I caliber player. He's going to make a play. But again, in that case, I don't know. I'd be tempted to go run at him and try to get the ball out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's the one player that I'm worried about in terms of kind of being the most effective with the ball in his hands.
Well, and I think you can't lose Slater right now, because Slater has knocked down some threes in this game. And that's, again, the way that they can really come back. I mean, obviously, Greeneville's got to make their free throws, and they have been for the most part.
Time is there's a nice look right there by Dabbs to find.
Well, I'd say that's one of those deals where you're like, okay, we're going to press, but now they've let Gillespie get the ball. Now, of course, he's missed 3 free throws here lately, but I still don't know that I'd want him going to the line if I'm the Panthers here.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Greeneville really from Satterfield to Gillespie and Dabbs, they've got some really good options. Guys that are confident shooters. And
really, that's how you win state championships, is having guys who, when the game is late, can step up to the line and knock them down. Because,
that one came off the rim. Just missed. That was up to 29 points there for Gillespie. Looking to have a 30-point night. Aberdeen leans in.
I think Aberdeen thought he was getting fouled. I think he thought he was getting fouled. And I could see it. There was a lot of contact right there. But that was a big one. If he makes that, especially if they then called the foul, you're talking about a 4-point play. But not being able to get that to go, and now a chance for them to push this out to a 3-possession game.
Correct.
And now it gets really precarious for Dr. Phillips. I mean, 33 seconds, it's getting late out here.
I see what he was trying to do there, and I think he did. He kind of felt that contact and tried to go up through it. I don't know that it warranted the foul call based on what I saw here, but I understand what he's
based on what they've called today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure that in this game is something that would have got him.
Right 33 seconds to go.
Now, if I'm Greeneville, I come up here and make him pick it up, but he's got a little double clutched it and knocks it down.
Yeah, that's big.
And see here,
now he's out of timeouts.
Now he's out of timeouts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was a little surprised to use that one a little while ago, just because now you are in a situation where you can't stop it. I mean, if you get within a possession under 5 seconds, the game's over.
Yeah, correct. So just time score situation, all of that comes down through in these types of situations as well. And again, timeouts are precious when we get to the last, especially the last 30 seconds of the game when you got a 1 or 2 possession game. So, but again, that just adds to the drama in that case. And again, if Aberdeen doesn't make that shot, it doesn't matter anyway.
100%.
It's a heck of a shot. Kind of double clutch it. I think he maybe lost the ball a little bit right there to begin with. But that's again, when we talk about high school basketball and then we talk about Division I caliber players.
That's the separator.
There you see the separation there. But again, I'll continue to make the argument that Jacoby Gillespie's been the best player on the floor.
He has.
And for most of this ball game, and certainly as a finishing factor here. But again, 4-point game, 27 seconds to go.
2-possession game.
Yep.
And you know that they're going to see a little pressure. We've got Uday up here on the ball. That certainly cuts down on your vision, I would say.
Yes, no doubt.
Heck, he had his guy Tillery down there, but I guarantee you he couldn't see him.
No, I guarantee it. It's pretty good out of bounds play right there to get to free guys up. But again, Uday with that long reach advantage in these cases. There he is, got him over the top.
Oh,
yep, nice.
He did see him.
Yep. That was nicely
done. But I'd have probably gone and fouled him.
Yep, I mean, able to get the ball to Gillespie, and he's going to end up going to free throw.
Again, 6 seconds comes off the clock right there. You have no timeouts. You got to get the ball.
That's a big play by Satterfield there too, because that was not an easy pass.
No.
And if that was just even the slightest bit short, Sheffield was going to pick that off.
Or if it's long, his 5'7" teammate isn't going to be able to catch that. Right. That was perfectly thrown.
Gillespie.
To throw it over 6'10", pretty impressive right there by Satterfield.
Makes that free throw, puts him up to up over the 30-point mark for the evening. Rattles at home a second one. Still a 2-possession game with 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I think that's smart by Greeneville, making him pick it up.
Yep.
Now I don't really understand this because you got to have 6 points.
Yeah, that was ill-advised there.
Yeah, and see here, you don't have any timeouts.
Yep, there goes Gillespie to make a play, and then she's just been able to do that all night long.
Now if Greeneville, even if he misses both of these free throws and they score on the other end, they don't have to throw the ball in.
Yeah, that's what coach is telling him right now.
I guarantee you that's what he's telling him.
Do not take that ball out of the.
Yeah, leave it alone. Just get away from it and get away from them.
Yeah.
Honestly, if he misses both of these free throws, I'd go down here. I'd go stand on the sideline, get away from them, because the only thing that can happen is bad.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's why. Yep, here they go.
I'd just say stay inside the 3-point, and that's what he's saying. He's saying stay inside the 3-point line and get away from them.
34 points, I believe, for Gillespie this evening. Heck of a ball game from a big-time player here from East Tennessee. And Aberdeen's going to take this home and finish it with a flush. Style points.
But that's all.
That's it.
They're going to lose.
The Green Devils with a huge upset. One that nobody really had or saw coming. And the Dr. Phillips coach very upset with the way that this has turned out. But quite honestly, if I'm just being honest, he'd be upset as much as you want. You just got outplayed.
They did. They got out-executed, outplayed, and and again, as we talked about early in the game, I don't know how many threes Greeneville ended up making, but it was a lot.
Yeah,
and it was a great equalizer. I tell you, what else hurt them was, they scored 2 points on that technical, and then got 2 points on the ensuing possession.
That's basically the difference in the game, right?
That's the 4-point difference in the game. Yeah. So, I understand being upset. Believe me, I definitely understand being upset with the officials, being upset with everything involved. But, it just kind of is what it is at this point. And your team got beat by a team that, while maybe not more talented, certainly had a better night.
Yeah, had a really good game plan. Figured out after that first couple of minutes how to manage what was going on. And to your point earlier, Coach, they really found a way to take Uday out of the game. And
100%.
That was their big advantage, I felt like, through the whole process. The guards from Greeneville seemed to be able to navigate what was going on. Give Dabbs quite a bit of credit too in the fact that he kind of kept his team in the game there early on before Gillespie started to catch on there. Of course, once he did, there was no turning back for those guys.
Yeah, super impressive by both of those guys. Dabbs, again, like you said, keeping them in the game, and then Gillespie just, that's one of the better individual performances you'll ever see in this tournament, because he really was just in a game with stars upon stars upon stars. He was the star of stars.
Absolutely. So you had all types of high-level recruits in that ball game, going to Power 5 schools, going to name schools.
Yes.
Right? But Jacoby Gillespie was the best player on the floor all evening. All right, so as we do a quick statistical breakdown for both sides here, real quick, as we're moving in between ball games. We've got team stats here. Go ahead, Coach.
All right, as we look at it here, Dr. Phillips shot 29 or 51 from the field. That's a pretty daggone high percentage. Greeneville on the other end, 22 for 41, so they actually made 7 fewer field goals. But then you look, the 3-point line was where they really evened it out. Dr. Phillips 7 for 21 from 3, 12 for 21 for Greeneville. So there's 5 of those points back right there. And then you want to talk about a big stat, free throws. And of course, they were fouling at the end. Greeneville makes 20 of 24.
Yep.
I mean, that is just getting it done. 20 for 24, whereas Dr. Phillips was 7 for 11. So when you're plus 13 at the foul line, I mean, when you make 9 more than the other team shoots, that's a big factor. That's something as a coach that you just really love to see. You know, that's always in with teams that I've coached. That's always been one of our goals, is to make more than the other team shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can do that, you can really control the ball game, and that's something they certainly did in this case.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going to be successful most times out. 5 more three-pointers made. 12 out of 21 is a ridiculous three-point percentage. It's almost 60% from 3, and that will keep you in ball games. And I believe that's what you said right there at the beginning of this game, is the fact that if you got teams that want to pull upsets, it's usually because they outshoot that other team from the three-point line. It is the great equalizer in those cases. And again, a huge edge at the free throw line as well, but give Greeneville some credit in terms of their ability to knock those down in clutch situations.
All right, so as we look at some individual stats here again, I mean, the player of the game, definitely Jacoby Gillespie, 35 points, 8 for 20 from the field, 5 for 12 from 3. And, of course, you know, the thing with him, most of those threes are off the dribble, pull-up, step-backs, you know, all the types of things that really are ones that he's kind of creating on his own.
Right, and shooting over guys that are 2 or 3 inches taller than him.
Yeah, I mean, and getting that separation. You know, 16 for 20 from the foul line. Goodness gracious. I mean, when you can do that, I mean, shoot 80% and get to the line 20 times, that's, again, a real recipe for an upset right there. He also had 5 assists and 2 rebounds. So, you know, really impressive all-around game for him. But, again, as we've talked about, really the key guy was Dabbs. You know, Dabbs had 18 points. He was 4 for 5 from 3, you know, 2 for 2 from 2-point land. So he had 18 points on 6 of 7 shooting. I mean, that's efficiency. And of course, again, most of his shots, you know, where we talked about Gillespie, were off the dribble, you know, coming around screen, back. You know, Dabbs was just catch and shoot. I would wager to guess almost all of his shots were assisted.
Oh yeah.
And you know, that's what but that's his job, is to knock those down. Then you look at Satterfield. Satterfield, the other big gun for him, 16 points. He was 4 for 7 from 3, 1 for 1 from 2. So, I mean, you know, again, efficiency. Those guys didn't take a high volume of shots, but they made a super high percentage. I mean, you know, one of my favorite stats is effective field goal percentage, which unfortunately we don't have on here, which basically weights threes as being more than 2 because they are worth more.
Sure.
These guys' effective field goal percentage was off the charts. I mean, you know, that's when you're having to play, you know, I guarantee you what coach was probably telling them is, hey, here's the recipe that we need to pull this upset. And they baked that cake perfectly. I mean, it was a perfect recipe for the upset. Then you look at Dr. Phillips on the other end, Aberdeen with 30. I mean, he did his part. 12 for 20 from the field. I mean, that's 60%. You know, 9 for holy cow. That can't be right. It's 9 for 10 from 2, 3 for 10 from 3. I was about to lose it. I was like, wow. But even that, I mean, 9 for 10 from 2. And, of course, most of those are layups, but that's his job.
That's his game,
But then you look at the other guys. Uday, only 8 points. You know, only took 6 shots.
Did he maybe had 1 bucket in the second?
Yeah, I don't know that he even had that. I mean, that guy – they need a little bit more out of him right there. And, again, you got to credit Greeneville because early he got whatever he wanted. Yeah. They were able to get it into him. They were able to throw him lobs. They were able to do this stuff. The second half, there was none of that. Really, after the first quarter, there was none of that.
Nope.
And made him have to really work for everything, and he wasn't able to do it. You know, and then you look on down the line, their other D1 player, Riley Kugel, who, of course, was in foul trouble a lot of the night, but 6 points on 3 of 9 shooting.
And I think he did have all those in the first quarter.
He absolutely had all of those in the first quarter. So, I mean, you know, it was one of those deals where else were they going to get it? Now, Slater stepped up with 16 points. I thought he played really, really well, shot it well, you know, kind of did for Dr. Phillips what Dabbs was doing for Greeneville. And as far as, like, catch and shoot threes, knocking things down. But, I mean, what a performance by the Green Devils. I'm super impressed with the way that they were able to fight and the way that they, it would have been really easy for them to get their heads down early when they got jumped on and really kind of feel sorry for themselves, but they never did.
Nope.
And they were struggling early, particularly Gillespie really struggled early, but they didn't let it affect them.
Yep.
And that's a team that has won a state championship, and you can tell. I mean, of course, so is Dr. Phillips,
right.
but that's the type of team that they can be. So pretty darn impressed with the Green Devils right there.
This is the charm of the Arby's Classic, and it has been for the longest time, where you got some teams in this corner of the state that are really competitive, and if a team like a Dr. Phillips comes in and gets out-executed, they can get beat.
Yeah.
They can get beat. And so we've proven that here in tonight's action. Again, I would echo what you said in terms of the overall sort of like mental makeup of what Greeneville brought to the table. He said they never panicked. Right? They stayed with their game plan even though they kind of got jumped on early. But beyond that, they controlled the pace. They controlled the tempo. Gillespie did a great job of making sure that he got quality shots or set up his teammates to do so. And he just was the class of that ballgame.
Well, and you think about it. I mean, it kind of reminds me when you were talking about that with the local teams. The local teams that are able to pull an upset, that are able to win a game against a team like that, are usually led by that one kind of captivating star.
Yep.
You think about Mac McClung with Gate City. You think about Patrick Good with Crockett a few years ago. Those kind of guys, Brad Knuckles back in the day with Council, I mean, on and on and on. Yes, sir. I mean, but you just think about those guys that they're able to lead their team to a victory through, kind of some force of will, but also some of their, less heralded teammates stepping up and hitting big shots.
Very good. That's a great assessment. I think we had quite a bit on our minds there. We've run down the time in between ball games, just taking us through that whole process. We got a really interesting aspect of a ball game here coming between.
I was about to say, now we got the one that I'm probably looking forward to the most.
Yep. So
I mean,
that's all good. So we're going to step aside for just a minute right here while starting lineups and all that are done. We'll get back with you guys in just a few. But stick with us. We got a really intriguing matchup between Amarillo and Jonesboro coming up. We'll be back here shortly, the 38th Annual Arby's Classic.